We're joined now by two young men who are in the PA State House. Democrat Justin Fleming from the Harrisburg suburbs in Dauphin County. Republican Thomas Kutz from the Harrisburg suburbs in Cumberland County, both chairman of the newly created Future Caucus. And I emphasize young men because there is an age restriction to this Future Caucus.
Yes, it's for members who are 45 years and younger. And we are organized in a bipartisan fashion to recognize that we need to work together in order to get things done to serve the people of Pennsylvania. And there are issues that are affecting millennials and Gen Z voters out there that I think we need to bring attention to. And I can't be happier to have Representative Kutz as my partner in this effort.
And you're the youngest guy on the stage right now. You're a 20-something. What's the purpose of this caucus?
Well, Dennis, the purpose of the caucus is that we have so many issues in Pennsylvania that the next generation is going to have to solve. And it's going to take people coming together to talk about those issues. In a 102, 101 chamber, if you send something to the Senate with 102 votes, it's not passing the Senate. So you have to have these bipartisan conversations to be able to know that we're really not that far apart on a lot of issues. And if we can find those solutions together by having a civil conversation, we can get a lot done for the people of Pennsylvania.
I think we have a picture of all the people that are in it, and I'm sure the numbers continue to increase. But if you're over 45, you can't get in it. Talk to me. You know, Pennsylvania is not known in the legislature anyway for its youthful exuberance and for young people leading the way. What kind of things do you guys think you can bring to change the way things are done?
Well, I think, first of all, what is happening is we're seeing, and I noticed this as an advocate, in the 12 years I was advocating, we've seen a lot of turnover in the General Assembly. I mean, just last year, 50 new members, a quarter of the body turned over. So I think it is trending younger. And so because of that, it's really incumbent upon us to lead this effort and focus on those issues that affect young folks.
Give me an example of something perhaps the older folks in your caucus, the entrenched Republicans, that they're pushing forward, and you, mostly along age, are like, guys, we shouldn't be, and ladies, we shouldn't be dealing with that.
Sure. So, Dennis, I think one of the big things that we're seeing now is the cost to buy a home is so expensive for first-time home buyers, and we need to be providing opportunities, whether it's removing barriers to home ownership through first-time home buyer programs or things like that to help housing affordability. If you're buying a home now, it's twice as much as it would cost you 3 years ago. It's a generational issue that I think really helping some of those older members who might not have bought a house for 30 years realize this is a struggle for millions of Pennsylvanians today.
How about you with Democratic leadership? Is there something that they're like really fired up about that you're like, I don't think the younger people in the state care?
Well, I think, one of the other things is workforce development. I mean, dovetailing on that issue, the economics today just are not what it was 2-3 decades ago. I mean, the days are long gone where you can come out of high school and work in the same place for 20-30 years. People are shifting to multiple jobs. We've got to make sure that the economy works for everybody. And so the folks who, may have been legislators for a long time and had this one job, they may not be aware of the way people are job hopping today, unlike they did in the past.
I saw Josh Shapiro schmoozing seniors this week, and he's very good at working a room. There's a perception that seniors vote, young people don't, and therefore, what seniors want, they get, and what young people want, maybe it's not a priority. How do you entice young people to get more involved?
Well, it is a challenge. I mean, that's an argument I made as an advocate. I remember years ago when there was a budget proposal to cut funding to the PASHE system by a massive amount, 20% or more. I mean, the reason why that governor had the permission to do that is because we don't vote. So we need to compel people, and younger people specifically, emphasize the importance of voting and the fact that government matters. What we do matters, and pay more attention to that.
Okay, we got to take a quick time out. We'll be right back with much more This Week in Pennsylvania. Welcome back to This Week in Pennsylvania, when we're a football team. They're the linemen, and I'm the quarterback. Joined now by Republican State Rep Thomas Kutz and Democratic State Rep Justin Fleming, both from Harrisburg suburbs and both chairman of the newly formed PA Future Caucus. But just for the trivia people out there, the youngest person in the State House is Alec Rinkavage. He is 22. He was elected at the age of 21. He looks 12. He's from Luzerne County. And in the Senate, Nick Miller, Lehigh, Northampton counties, he's 28 years old. He was the youngest person elected to the state Senate in 123 years. You know, you mentioned it's such a tight, right now it's tied 101-101. Could a young person's caucus flex muscle and say, hey, we're going to move forward with this and we got the votes to make it happen?
Absolutely, Dennis. Our goal here is to be able to have conversations about policies that we can bring forward. And maybe if we come forward as a group of 20 caucus members and say, here's a bipartisan piece of legislation we think could help the people of Pennsylvania, we just got to talk another 100 of our colleagues into doing the right thing. And I think we could be a force to affect positive change.
Not yet a completely done budget. This has been an unusual year. They're all unusual now, aren't they?
They are.
Especially when you have a first-year governor. How do you see this thing finishing up? We still got to get codes bills done.
Yeah, and I mean, the typical way it's been done is the one chamber does the general appropriations bill, leaving the other chamber to do the code bills. So the code bills will emanate in the Senate. There has to be an agreement on what bills get traded, and so we're all waiting for
Governor
that.
Shapiro still wants school vouchers in there, $100 million. He said, I put up $550 million more for public schools, this $100 million over here. I think it still should happen, along with a couple other things, including increasing minimum wage. So is this stuff still on the table?
Not as far as we're concerned. I mean, the governor made a commitment to line item veto,
Yeah.
which he did. The veto message is put forward. And on that point, I'm on the record as saying any additional money should go to our public schools.
Look, I think negotiations have to be ongoing. There's a give and take that has to happen to make sure you can arrive at a product that a majority of Pennsylvanians are going to be satisfied with. So absolutely, it should be on the table.
I want to talk to you two young people about the upcoming presidential election. It looks as if it's going to be, again, Donald Trump against Joe Biden. Donald Trump approaching 80, Joe Biden going to be 80. What do you say to young people that are just turned off by that? And 7 polls say 70% of Americans don't want that matchup.
You got to get out and vote. If you got to use your feet, use your voice to get out and get your vote heard, and get people who are friends of yours to have those conversations. And if you want someone younger to be involved, you got to talk to them and you got to encourage them, and you have to provide support to them so that they can get involved.
Can you blame young people for being turned off in a system in which that's the two candidates?
I can't blame them, but also it's, again, Representative Kutz hit the nail on the head. Engagement is the key. We need to talk to young people and really educate them on why this matters, why who their elected leaders are matter. It's the difference between, are you going to get help for student loans? Are you perhaps not? And really bring those key issues home and put it right in their lap and say, regardless of who the leader is, these are the types of policies that can get done if you participate.
Okay. Thank you both very much. Good luck with your new caucus.
Thank you, sir.
And
Thanks,
I have a feeling you're going to have more members. There are going to be more 45 and unders coming in.
I think so.
As we do. Thank you both very much. Appreciate it. Stay with us. Much more This Week in Pennsylvania. We come right back.